Yes, students, we are doing in continuation about the errors. Today we are going to talk about the combination of errors. Whenever we are doing any calculations, we are calculating any value for any given physical quantity which depends upon two or more other physical quantities. Then we are supposed to take that measurement, and then error in the each quantity is to be taken into account. For example, I'm saying that density, if I'm finding the error in the measurement of density, it means as density involves mass and volume of the substance. Then it means errors in the measurement of mass and the dimensions of the given body, length, breadth and height. That is going to produce error in the density of the given substance. For example, I'm taking the first case with you, like a physical quantity is involving the sum of the two given physical quantities. Like I'm saying that supposingly there are two physical quantities A and B we are measuring by using any device. It can be vernier calipers, it can be simple scale or anything if I'm measuring the length supposingly. And I'm saying that delta A and delta B are their absolute errors. Absolute errors are known to us. Then the value for A and B I can write in terms of the absolute error, like A plus minus delta A or B plus minus delta B. Now if I say my physical quantity which is equals to the sum of the two given quantities A and B is Z, then I can say that there must be some error, absolute error in the calculation of Z, and let delta Z be that value. Then in that case, after putting the value of the absolute errors, I can write this value as Z plus minus delta Z, which is equals to A plus minus delta A plus B plus minus delta B. Now if I work out on the right hand side equation with you, then I can write it as A plus B, plus minus can be taken out, and inside I can write delta A plus delta B. Now if you see on the left hand side, Z, it is already equals to A plus B. So if I compare the values here, A plus B, I can write it as Z. So I can write this equation as Z plus minus delta A plus delta. Now on comparing both the sides, left hand side and right hand side, Z will get equated, and as a result I get the absolute error, that this plus minus delta Z, which is absolute error in the measurement of Z, it is equals to plus minus delta A plus delta B. Now it means if I write the possible values of the absolute error in the Z, it means delta Z, it can be delta A plus delta B, it can be minus delta A minus delta B, it can be plus delta A minus delta B, or it can be minus delta A plus delta B. But whenever it is coming in your exams or you have to work out for the numerical purpose, we have to always look for the maximum permissible error. It means what is the maximum value of the error that is permissible, that is always taken with the positive sign. So delta Z maximum error is equals to, by adding both the errors, that is equals to delta A plus delta B. This is very important thing, bache. Most of the times you get, and the final exam you get the questions on errors, and then basically of this percentage error we are using in the practicals, of course in theory exams also can be asked, and the same way this propagation of errors also can be asked. In this case you should be aware of all these things. So the thing is that if I go ahead, if I am doing the another case with me, that is error of a physical quantity which depends upon the difference of the two physical quantities. Now it means Z, it is equals to A minus B. While my rest of the suppositions are same, A and B are the given physical quantities which I am measuring by any device, and delta A and delta B are their absolute. So if Z, it is equals to A minus B, so you are getting Z plus minus delta Z, it is equals to A plus minus delta A minus of this B plus minus delta B. Now because of this minus sign, if I just rewrite this equation, I am getting A minus B plus minus delta A minus of plus minus delta B. It means it can be written as minus plus. But again, if you see A minus B, it is equals to Z. So I can write in place of A minus B Z. And if I compare the values on left hand side and right hand side, then again I am getting, because if I write plus first or negative first, meaning is coming out to be the same. I can have the various combinations with me, like I can get both positive sign, both negative sign with delta A and delta B, or with one I am getting positive, with another I am getting negative. But again, as I've said, that for the examination purpose, you will be always asked with the maximum permissible error, and that is with the positive sign. So even if when two quantities are subtracted, the absolute error in the final result is the sum of the individual absolute errors. This is to be noted, that whether I am taking sum of the two quantities or I am taking subtraction of the two quantities, but the absolute error in the final result is sum of the individual errors in both the cases. So for this one question I have written for you to make you the thing clear. Like if I am saying the temperature of the two bodies, they are measured with the thermometer, and temperature T1, it is 30 degrees Celsius plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius, and T2, it is equals to 50 degrees Celsius plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. You have to find the temperature difference and the error. They may ask you to find the sum of the temperatures. That also can be done very simple. When I am doing the subtraction, it means A minus B is to be taken. It means 50 minus 30, that is equals to 20 degrees Celsius. But absolute errors are 0.5 degrees Celsius and 0.5 degrees Celsius. They are to be added always. So result is to be written as plus minus 1 degree Celsius. This is the error measurement in the temperature of the by taking the subtraction of the two. So this you have to see, this is the absolute error, like in the measurement of Z, when A and B absolute errors are given, absolute errors in A and B are to be added. So this thing you have to take care while solving your questions. This is a very simple question just for making your understanding clear. Now I may have the physical quantity which is depending upon the product of the two quantities. Like A and B are the given quantities and Z is given by A multiplied B. So physical quantities are A and B, measured values we have taken, absolute errors are delta A and delta B. So my supposition I have kept the same for doing all the functions to make you the thing clear in your mind. Now if you are multiplying the both, it means you put the value of Z, you put the value of A, you put the value of B, and then you multiply. On left hand side you will have to write like this only, Z plus minus delta Z, and when you multiply here you are getting A into B, AB I have written, plus minus delta A into B, and then plus minus B into delta A, and plus minus delta A delta B. Now if you divide both the sides by the Z, Z means A into B, AB, then what you are getting is, you can write it like this, you are getting it 1 plus minus delta Z upon Z, which is equals to 1 plus minus this, if you are dividing by AB, then A is going to get cancelled and B will come in the denominator. So you are getting delta B upon B. Similarly, if you divide it by AB, then B is getting cancelled and I am left with delta A upon A. Plus minus, you are getting delta A upon A into delta B upon B. This quantity is going to be very small, so we are going to ignore this quantity with you. And I can write 1 of course on both the sides. On comparison, you can cancel out and you are left with plus minus delta Z upon Z. It is equals to plus minus delta B upon B plus minus delta A upon A. So when you have to write the maximum permissible error, again you have to only take with the positive sign. But this you can see we are not having the absolute errors, but rather we are having the relative errors. So relative error in the final result is the sum of the relative errors in the individual quantities. This point is again to be noted that whenever I am finding the product, I will be getting the result for finding the relative error in the given quantity. And of course, if I want to find the absolute error, I can multiply z with this right hand side term. I will be getting the absolute error in the measurement of z. So that can be done by adding one more step, and you will be able to get the results in the numerical if it is required. This is you are getting z equals to a upon b, and z plus minus delta z. When you are writing, you have to write a plus minus delta a divided by b plus minus delta b. And then if you are doing here, I can write a plus minus delta a in the numerator simply, and in the denominator I have taken b out. When you take b out, you are coming with 1 plus minus delta b upon b. Now this I can write it as 1 plus minus delta b power minus 1. And this is you have done with the binomial theorem. We have discussed it earlier. Then this power will come in multiplication here. So here in place of plus minus, you will be getting minus plus. And rest of the things will remain the same. So it will be simply now like doing a multiplication of the things. And you will be getting a plus b plus minus this a upon b plus minus delta a upon b. You can write, and then you can multiply with the things, and when you multiply with the things, you are getting the results, and on dividing by a upon b and simplifying, you will be getting again same result which we get by taking the product of the two quantities, delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. So again you can say when two quantities are divided, the relative error in the final result is sum of the relative errors of the individual quantities. So it means whether the two quantities are in product or they are in division, the result is coming out to be the C. This you have to keep it in your mind.
Now if I have a physical quantity which z, which is written as power of a given physical quantity, like physical quantity A power P. Here this power P is a constant, and I have supposed that let delta A is the absolute error in the measurement of A. Then A can be written as A plus minus delta A. Now for this, one method is same you can do as the, and other simple method I have taken by the differentiation. So you should be keeping this formula in your mind, that if I am taking d by dx of log x, then it is equals to 1 upon x. This one formula you have to keep it in your mind. Then I can write d of log x, it is equals to dx upon x. So applying, I am taking log on both the sides, then I will be getting log of z plus that is equals to p log of a, and when you differentiate, you are getting delta z upon z, which is here dx. In place of dx I am writing delta value. Delta means small change. Delta z upon z, which is equals to p constant as it is, and here derivative of log a will be equals to delta a upon a. So this is one very important formula. When the powers are given, only this one formula for derivative you have to keep it in your mind.
Now if I am having more than one or two quantities with me, then again you have to simply remember this formula. Power is to be taken in multiplication, and then you have to write the relative error in the first quantity, then you write the power for the second quantity, write the relative error of the second quantity, and whether the quantity is in multiplication or it is in division, these all errors are to be added. Because this we have already seen, so I am not proving it again. Clear? Same thing can be proved again, but generally you are asked with the numerical problems, not the proving of these things. So, but I have taken the proof simply for your awareness, so that if required, you should be always able to do with the things. Okay, moving ahead, question I have taken for you. A physical quantity P, it is related to the four observations, four observables. Here it is written A, B, C and D. And the formula for P is given A cube B square divided by CD power 4. And they are saying that the percentage errors in the measurements of A, B, C and D are given to you 1%, 3%, 4% and 2% respectively. You have to find the percentage error in the quantity P. Then of course, because I have been given with this value of P, it is equals to A cube B square divided by CD 4. So I can write the relative errors delta P upon P. If I write, that is given by 3 times delta A upon A plus 2 times delta B upon B plus this is no power on C, so no need to write any power. So simply delta C upon C. And power of D is 4, so 4 will come in multiplication, that is 4 delta D upon D. Now, because they are asking the percentage error, so I know percentage error is simply taken by multiplying the relative error with 100. So, I have multiplied by 100 on both the sides, left hand side as well as right hand side. Then I am able to write the percentage error. Because I know the relative error, I can write the percentage error. And in the question they have given you the percentage error, so they have been given delta A upon A multiplied 100, that is equals to 1% as per the question. Similarly, delta B upon B into 100 is given 3%, delta C upon C into 100 is given 4%, and delta D upon D multiplied 100 is given 2%. So I can simply write the powers in multiplication of these percentage errors as per the formula with me. So we'll be adding up the things, because I have already started that the relative errors are to be added whenever I have to find the maximum permissible error. And in the numericals, most of the times when they are silent, you have to give the maximum permissible error. So it means you have to simply add up the things and then only you need to give those things. So this is a question, very simple, but that knowledge of the absolute error, percentage error, relative error should be there with you, and the relation with each other. Thank you all of you.